Good morning, dear children. Today we will learn Chapter 1 History and its Sources, Part 2. In this video, I am going to teach you sources of history. So, let's start it. First of all, we should know what are historical sources. Historical sources. Historical sources are the foundation to understand a particular era. Back in time. Era means a period of time in a history that is special for some reason. And historians who study and write about the past and is regarded as an authority on it depend on reliable sources in order to make a correct assessment of events. The sources of history are of two kinds. They are literary sources and archaeological sources. Sources of history. It is of two types. Literary sources and archaeological sources. Again, literary sources is of two types. Religious literature and secular literature. And archaeological sources is also can be grouped into three kinds. Inscriptions, monuments and other objects like coins, weapons, etc. Let us learn it one by one. First of all, we will start literary sources. Okay? Literary sources. Literary sources are original sources of information in the form of documents or recordings created in the past. There are two types of literary sources. First, religious literature and second, secular literature. Religious literature. Literature that deals with religions are known as religious literature. The four Vedas, the two great epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the Upanishads and the Puranas are a rich source of information on Hindu religion and Aryan society. The Jatakas and Triptikas of Buddhist, the Angas and Purvas of the Jains also give us many historical details. Now, secular literature. Literature which is not religious is known as secular. It includes poems, plays, accounts of foreign travelers and works in the field of politics and science. The accounts of Fahin and Huinsang, the Indica of Megasthenes and the Arthashastra of Kautilya give us information about the lifestyle, kingship and ideas of the people in the ancient period. Poems, plays and stories provide us an insight into history. For example, Kalidasa's plays Meghdut and Abhigyan Shakuntalam provide information about the Gupta period as well as make the readers aware of the flora and fauna of that time. Now, archaeological sources. The term archaeological means the study of the remains of the past. Remains means that is left behind after other parts have been used or taken away. And the word archaeology in Greek means the study of what is ancient. And ancient means a period of history that is thousands of years in the past. The remains of the materials like weapons, pottery, monuments, coins, etc. are discovered after digging or excavation. These material remains are also known as artifact. And the people who study the remains of the past are known as archaeologists. History of ancient India mostly depends on evidences supplied by archaeology. For example, our knowledge of the prehistoric man and Indus Valley civilization is based on archaeological evidence. Now, archaeological sources can be grouped into three kinds. First, inscriptions, second, monuments, and third, other objects like coins, weapons, etc. Let's learn one by one. First of all, inscriptions. These are images of inscriptions, coins, monuments, pots and pans. These are archaeological sources. Inscriptions. Inscriptions are the writings which are normally engraved either on stone surfaces or on metal or brick. The study of inscriptions is called epigraphy. What do we call? Epigraphy. The study of inscriptions is known as epigraphy. These are found mainly on rocks, pillars, stone tablets, buildings and metal plates. Inscriptions provide us with information about religion, culture, administration, economy and other aspects of that period. Inscriptions from one of the Ashokan pillar. And they have been found in Maski and Brahmagiri in Karnataka. Now, monuments. Monuments are old buildings which are important historically. The Taj Mahal tells us about the glorious reign of the Mughals, and the pyramids of the Egypt have been standing there for 4600 years. They tell us a lot about the ancient Egyptians. Stupas, basades, giant temples, palaces and fort ruins are the kinds of monuments which exist today. These monuments enable us to know about the unique architectural designs, technological, social, religious, political and economical condition of that period. They reflect the achievements of king and administrators. Ashoka's pillars, Ajanta caves, Ellora caves, Elephanta caves, Badami, Ahole, Pattakadal of Karnataka are the evidences of India's glorious heritage. Coins. The study of coins is called numismatics. Coins are a useful source of history. They provide us information about the use of a metal during that period and the economic conditions of the people. During the Gupta period, gold coins were found in abundance. It represents economic prosperity of the Gupta period, the time to which it actually belongs. Trade between two countries or areas from the discovery of coins of our country found in another. The pictures of gods and goddesses engraved on the coins tell us about the religions of the ruler who issued those coins. Samudragupta's coins show the emperor playing the veena, a musical instrument. These are the images of early coins. Early coins have been minted by using a variety of metals. A study of these coins helps us to gain knowledge about the minting technologies used, the religious, economic, administrative, and the social aspects of other era. They help us to know about the important rulers or famous personalities of that era from the image on the coin. The earliest coins in India were mostly made of silver. Now, need to preserve historical sources. It is very important for all of us to take care of every historical source. The National Archives of India was set up in New Delhi in 1920. It helped a lot in preserving the precious books, magazines, periodicals, etc., which helped the scholars greatly in writing history. On the basis of carbon 14 dating, we can also be aware of the age of those objects. Okay. Now, chapter 1 of SST history and its sources is completed. Now this is your classwork. You have to do it in your SST fair notebook. Important terms. You have to write it in your copy. Thank you. Have a nice day.